Well, hello there. It's me again, Aunt T. And it's so nice to talk to y'all. I wanted to talk about something different today. Something that's been kind of coming to me a lot lately. I've been getting prompted quite a bit through my meditation and different things I've been doing to help myself, to heal myself. And I wanted to just sort of throw this idea around and you let me know what you think. So anyway, it came to me this idea that how we quite often today will combine names, and it happens quite a bit with celebrities, like we'll combine names just to make it because we're fond of those names and we want to shorten them and it makes them sound better and we kind of like the idea of it. So we'll give you an example like Jennifer Lopez. She likes to call herself J-Lo and I think it works for her and it's clever, it's lovely, it looks good, smart. Then you have couples like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and they people called them Brangelina when they were together, and I think they should still keep that name when they're with their children because, I think it's nice. Anyway, and nice for the kids. But anyway, well, they're not kids now, aren't they? They're quite a bit older, but they're still their kids. And that kind of keeps them together and it sort of creates a unity. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get at here is when you combine those names, it makes a unity together. And even though those are two separate people, it combines them together. And so I got thinking about that. I got thinking, well, here we are. And I got thinking global because I always go global. It's kind of the way I go. So I got thinking about, well, we call ourselves human beings. And around the globe right now, we seem to be always struggling with being human beings. And struggling in the sense that we're so hard on each other and we're so hard on ourselves. And we're always picking ourselves apart and picking each other apart. And wouldn't that be nice if we could, even in just a name, bring some unity together? Like, what if we could call ourselves HuBe? Wouldn't that be kind of cool? And we could just say to each other, like, I am HuBe. And it wouldn't matter. You could be whatever kind of HuBe, but going more than that too. Like, instead of always talking about the outside of us, like we put a lot of importance on this, the outside, which is lovely. It's good to have good respect and love for ourselves and outside of us. But what about thinking a little differently? Because we've been on this earth, well, if you think about what's out there and I watch Ancient Aliens all the time, so that's another thing about me. So kind of puts a different concept on there of things when you think about it. It's like, okay, the possibility is that we HuBes may have been in existence going way back maybe 266,000 years ago. But we weren't HuBes then. We were Homo sapiens, or we were Neanderthals, or before that we were, well, what's the other one? Anyway, it'll come to me. So we were all different stages. We evolved, but it was so slow. It was so painfully slow, the evolution. And so I wanted to just throw this out there and It's just not documented, and please don't come at me and go, that can't be true. It's not written here, it's not written there, and there's no proof, blah, blah, blah. There is no proof. It happened hundreds of thousands of years ago. How are you going to get any proof? You know, really, seriously. So we only have to go with a feeling. We have to go with evidence we're seeing today. We have to go with that. That's all we can go with. And as it displays itself in history, the way things are going right now. And so what I'm trying to say here is there's this belief, and we're going back to the Sumerians, which the Sumerians, they do have documentation of the Sumerians, and they do have documentation and archaeological digs and everything of the Babylonians and the Assyrians. And they all were in around what we call Iraq right today, in that area. And they've dug up all kinds of interesting artifacts. But they had a belief system in some gods that were called the Anunnaki, and they may have been 266,000 years ago. And it's out there that they may have been the ones that have given their DNA or part of their DNA to us Homo sapiens at the time to kind of push us a little bit in our evolution. Give us a little boost. And that's my way of looking at it, okay? But so they gave us that boost, and that's the story, okay? Again, don't beat me up. That's the story. And that was their belief. And there's all kinds of art and all kinds of things describing all this. Quite often you'll see a pine cone being used, that they were using a pine cone, and it will be depicted in all the artwork. And see, so these Anunnaki, which again supposedly could have been from another planet, extraterrestrials, they needed to find a lot of willing workers, you might say. Let's call them slaves. And the idea was that they did this to us to help them with doing a lot of work because they were wanting gold. And that was the other thing. So anyway, this getting back to the HuBe. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is we've evolved. We've evolved a long time here, you know? Like here we are. And here we are still fighting the same stuff. Like over and over and over again. What in the world? And it's all fights about this outside of us. Like this outside of us, because some of us are different. Well, we're all different. We're all beautiful. Some of us have beautiful alabaster skin. Some of us have beautiful ebony skin with different shades. Maybe there's such a dark ebony that they might even have a little bit of a purpley hue to them. Beautiful. All of us are beautiful and different. And it's just a matter of accepting. So could we accept that we are all HuBe? We are all HuBe. All of us. Some of us happen to be maybe a little bit of pink and white. Some of us might be a little black and purple. Or maybe a little copper and brown, or beige and brown. Whatever we are, accept that we're different. Sometimes you might not like them. It's kind of like when you go to buy an ice cream at Baskin Robbins or some other ice cream store that sells a lot of different flavors, and like there could be like 50, 60 different flavors. And you go there with your friend to buy an ice cream. And your friend really, really likes Rocky Road. Just loves Rocky Road. Because your friend, really likes the marshmallows and the chocolate and the nuts in there, and maybe there's pecan nuts or something. And you, on the other hand, really, really like maple walnut, and you love the taste of that lovely maple taste in there, the creaminess and the walnuts, right? Now, so are you going to get real mad at your friend because how dare you not like my maple walnut? And is your friend going to get mad at you because how dare you not like my Rocky Road? No. You might both just go, oh, well, that's nice. So, and enjoy your ice cream. And there's so many other ice creams there to pick. So many. And some you may not like because maybe, you don't like licorice or you don't like bubblegum flavor or whatever, Does that mean you're really bad because you don't like it? See, that's the other thing, too. If you don't like something, why are we getting mad about that? It just shows that you have a preference, right? And there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. It's all choice. It's just a matter of accepting. Okay, I accept there's a bubblegum out there or licorice up there, or I accept that my friend really likes Rocky Road. And my friend accepts that I really like maple walnut. And yet, we have same things like, the maple walnut has that beautiful maple taste and that creaminess, and so does the Rocky Road with the creaminess of the marshmallows and that sweetness of that, and then the creaminess of the real lovely taste of the chocolate. And they both have nuts. Which they're both nuts, right? So does that mean they are both nuts? But anyway, so the common denominator is the nuts. So what I'm trying to say is we all have preferences, likes, dislikes, something we like more than the other. Could we just leave it alone if you're not preferring, something of another person, another race, another culture, but just accept that they're different. Accept. And there's nothing wrong if you like or don't like, because it doesn't mean that if you have to see or be around that person or that particular race or culture or whatever, doesn't mean that you can't have some type of positive interlog or some kind of positive interactions back and forth with each other. It can still be done. So let's let go of the outside. Okay? Let's accept. We're all beautiful HuBes. And maybe some of us aren't so beautiful anymore. Some of us are getting older, but inside, what are we? Inside. That's the ticket. Yeah, because that part of you evolves, changes, grows, becomes either something very beautiful or something very horrible, depending on you, depending on what choices you make in your life, depending on how you've learned in life, what you're learning in life. And so what I'm proposing here is, why don't we all adopt the short form of our name? Let's all be HuBe. And we're going to add a little bit to it. And we're going to say, I'm a HuBe. I'm a blank, blank, blank HuBe. And not describing the outside of us. Okay? Not I'm a Caucasian female HuBe. Unless it's called for and someone is asking you what kind of HuBe you are, for a form you're filling out or whatever. I'm talking about someone asks and you say to them, well, I'm a kind-hearted, generous, bit of a badass HuBe. I'm working on the badass. But anyway, what if you did that? What if you had 3 things that you knew about yourself? A couple of positives, maybe 1 negative that you're working on. Okay? And that described you. And maybe it's a funny thing. Maybe it's a little bit of a comical. I like to have humor, don't you? It helps. So what if we had that? And it described who we are inside. Inside. And there's a funny thing about our evolution. We have put so much focus on the mind. Everything has been the mind, the mind, the mind. Because we have been in such a masculine energy for so long, we've been in this, and no offense to the masculines out there, because masculine energy is a good thing. It is confidence. It is pushing forward. It is the mind, right? Now we're going into a more feminine energy. The feminine energy is intuition. It's our feelings about things. We are opening up to a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing in our evolution as HuBes. We are going to another stage that we have never been in. And we can't stop this. We don't want to stop this. And the thing that I am concerned about is that we are going to dummy down our evolution, that we are somehow, our evolution and our moving forward on this next stage is going to be somehow halted. And there's certain things that are happening today that are kind of interfering. And the more, though, that we accept that this is the next stage, that we are moving forward, that things are going to open for us. Things are going to open up for us in other ways, in our energy, in our vibration. Things like that have never ever been, well, I shouldn't say never. There are things in different ancient books, ancient scriptures, ancient, not just the Bible, but other books. There are other belief systems around the world that have talked about different mysteries, different things that have happened, magic. We are evolving into that. We're changing, we're evolving, we're becoming something totally different. But we need to get out of the way. We keep on fighting and, over this outside. This outside. We keep fighting about the material. And it's time to stop fighting. It's time to start accepting. Accept sometimes you don't like Rocky Road. You'd rather have Maple Walnut. Accept. And it's okay. You have your Rocky Road, I'll have my Maple Walnut. And we're still friends. That's what we got to do, folks. So would you like to join me? And I'm going to start off I am a kind-hearted, loving badass. HuBe. Your turn. What kind of HuBe are you? Let's pass it on. Let's change the world. Let's keep working on the inside. Let's develop that. Because soon we're going to be changing. We're going to be changing into magicians, and there's going to be all kinds of beautiful miracles happening very soon. But it might not happen if we allow other things to get in our way. And so I'd like to keep talking about this with people, keep talking about it, how we can keep working on our spirituality, our spiritual qualities, the qualities that are very, very important, the qualities that different prophets came through time to tell us about. You know, it wasn't just Jesus that came to talk about how the kingdom of heaven was to be as it is in on earth as it is in heaven. He came to talk about that. How do we get that? And then there was others. There was from all kinds of belief systems, all coming around the earth with a message, the importance of the inside changing, the inside developing. And that is when the kingdom of God will be on earth. And those qualities are love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faith, mildness, self-control. Now, if you got all those, you'll have to extend your HuBe name, okay? And that would be fantastic if you could do that. But for now, we'll just stick with 3 names, okay? And 1 you're working on. Or not. Maybe you just think it's funny, okay? And that's all right. Let's just all work on that and accept what we are on the outside, okay? What we are on the outside is okay. It's not a big deal, okay? Sometimes you're not going to like me on the outside. Sometimes I'm not going to like you. That's all right. But I'm going to accept you. I'm going to accept you're different. Maybe you're not my cup of tea. And so, again, I am HuBe. I hope you are too. Ta-da.